What's up, y'all? BK back here, and it is that time of the year. Time to do our paddle awards for the year of 2024. End of the year, we're going to look back at all the paddles from this year and basically map out our top paddles in terms of power, control, spin, all court, and of course our paddle of the year for 2024. Just a disclaimer, all the paddles that I mention in this video you can get discounts for at bk-pickleball.com. No paddle company has paid me to put their paddle in this video, but you can use the discount codes available at bk-pickleball.com for any of the paddles mentioned in my video. It all goes to help support the channel. Now, just talking about the criteria of these paddle awards. Number one, I had to have used this paddle. I'm not going to review any paddle that I haven't personally used. So special shout out to Honolulu Pickleball. They made some fantastic paddles over the course of the last year, but I haven't gotten a chance to try out any of them, so they will not be in my video. But I've heard a lot of good things about those, so if you're looking for a J2K, J2TI, they are supposed to be really good paddles. Personally, I just haven't tested them, so they will not be in my video. Alright, so without further ado, let's get right into our paddle awards for 2024. So our first category is power paddles. Some honorable mentions here. The Rhombus Ripple is easily my favorite paddle of 2024. However, it is not available for public sale yet, so I haven't had them as the runner-up or winner for any of the categories in this video. However, if you are able to get your hands on the Rhombus Ripple, I do believe it is easily the best paddle out there right now. Also an honorable mention is the Yola Mod TA15. It is a paddle that I believe is a little too powerful. The news is that this paddle will be getting delisted in April of next year, so that is something to look out for. I will not have them winning any awards as well, but the Yola Mod TA15 is one of those paddles that I see all the time on the rec courts. This paddle almost automatically adds about 0.5 to your rating, so if you're a 3.5 player, you feel like a 4.0. You're a 4.0 player, you feel like a 4.5. This is one of those paddles that definitely allows you to feel a lot better about your game. It really enhances that power style of play. Our runner-up for power paddle of the year is the Spartus Olympus. Now, when the Spartus came out, it's a 14mm paddle with a fully foam injected core. This paddle immediately stood out to me in terms of that power style of game. Again, it is not one of the most powerful paddles out there. That's not what this category is to me. I'm not just gonna rank the most powerful paddles. If that was the case, I would easily award this to a Gearbox or the Yola Mod, but this is about how a paddle plays in a power style of game. So if you're somebody that likes to drive a lot of balls, hit a lot of big counters, overheads, and all of that, this is about how well the paddle can control those shots and generate the power for you. And the Spartus Olympus, in my opinion, is one of those rare paddles that you can apply a lot of power to and a lot of plow through to. And the paddle does a fantastic job of generating power for you while also helping you control the ball as well. With the Gearbox, I found it a lot harder to control the ball. The feel is very different than any other paddle, but the Spartus Olympus is something that I immediately got used to and helps you play a very powerful style of pickleball. You can definitely outpower people with this paddle, but it also helps you control the ball a lot better when you're playing that power style of game. So the Spartus Olympus is my runner-up in the power paddle category. Now, the winner of the power category for 2024 is the Yola 3S series. Specifically, the Yola 3S Perseus shape is my favorite power paddle of 2024. Again, there is a lot of drama surrounding the 3S series. I know a lot of other reviewers haven't put these paddles on their paddle awards, but the Yola 3S is the #1 paddle preferred by pretty much every single pro that I know of. Anybody that is a non-sponsored pro player is looking to play with the Yola 3S because it is just the best paddle on the market right now. So that one definitely had to take the cake for me. The reason that most paddle reviewers haven't put this paddle on their paddle awards is because this paddle is only approved by the UPAA, which is the official governing body of the PPA and MLP, and it is not currently USAPA approved. However, there is a rumor circling around that this paddle will be approved by USAPA early next year. So to get a head start on that, I am putting this paddle in my paddle awards, and it is going to win the Power Paddle of the Year category. Now diving into the control category, some honorable mentions here. The 6-0 Ruby was one of those first Kevlar paddles that came out that really helped change the game, so that's definitely got to get a mention on here. And the Hirachi Control Plus from 11624, another special paddle under 140 bucks. This is a very value for money paddle, very budget friendly paddle, and is exceptionally good at controlling the pickleball. The face of this paddle with that triple layer of carbon fiber, fiberglass, and carbon fiber really stands out in how much you're able to control the ball and the shape that you're able to get while still maintaining decent punch through on your counters. The runner-up here for Control Paddle of the Year for me is the Neonic Flow Prime X. The Neonic Flow is a very interesting shape, something I feel like a lot of players, especially those from like a tennis background that like a longer elongated shape, will definitely gravitate towards. I haven't seen a lot of these in the rec courts yet, but this is a fantastic paddle that really has a lot of control while still maintaining a lot of pop in the playability for counter situations. But the amount of shape that you can get with the Flow Prime X is insane. I found it extremely easy to drop balls, dink balls, and just play a very controlled style of reset game with this paddle. So for me, that is the runner-up for Control Paddle of the Year. The winner in the control category for me is a very easy decision. The standout CF3 for me has been such a dependable paddle this year. It is by far the one paddle that I can pick out at any moment and know that the ball is going to go exactly where I want it to go no matter what I do. So this is a paddle that comes in a 14 and a 16 millimeter. The 16 has a lot more control, the 14 has a little bit more pop, but regardless of which one you choose, this paddle has such a high dwell time that you can really shape the ball and put this ball exactly where you want to on the court while still maintaining enough counter pop to put balls away. So for me, the standout CF3 is the winner of the Control Paddle of the Year. Now moving into our all-court paddles, this is that in-between category that allows you to play a very balanced style of game. Honorable mentions here, the Volare Mach 2 Forza. Loved this paddle when it came out. The 14mm version especially has a lot of pop and exceptional spin, one of the spinniest paddles on the market, and it also does a fantastic job of controlling the pickleball with that wide body shape. So the Volare Mach 2 Forza has to get a mention in the all-court section, as well as the new Bread and Butter Invader. This paddle with the titanium face is amazing on resets and drops. This paddle allows you to control the ball really well, and because of that titanium fiberglass face, your counter pop at the net is also incredible. So very all-court friendly paddle here. The Bread and Butter Invader and the Volare Mach 2 Forza are my honorable mentions here. The runner-up for our all-court paddle of the year for me is the Neonic Flare Prime X. This paddle in that 14mm with the wide body shape, this standard shape paddle has amazing pop, plays very similar to the Paddle Tech for almost $100 cheaper. This is an insane value for money. If you are looking for an all-court paddle with a standard shape that's going to help you take your game to that next level, the Neonic Flare Prime X is exactly that. The reason I haven't put Paddle Tech in here is almost purely because the Neonic Flare Prime X exists, coming in at almost $100 cheaper with nearly identical playability. This paddle is exceptional value for money and does a fantastic job in all scenarios. So the Neonic Flare is our runner-up for the all-court paddle. Now the winner of the all-court paddle of the year should come as no surprise. It is the Pickleball Apes Pulse. This paddle made waves as soon as it hit the market for how it played. The technology on this paddle is absolutely incredible with that Gen 3 style. This paddle does have a little bit of a break-in period where the paddle paddle still plays really well, but once you break it in, it almost like breaks a barrier and becomes exceptionally poppy and powerful while still maintaining the control because of that Gen 3 modeling that they've done. The Pickleball Apes Pulse is easily the all-court paddle of the year for me. Exceptional paddle. If you haven't had the chance to hit it, definitely go pick one up. You will not be disappointed. Now diving into our spin paddles of the year, honorable mention here again, the Rhombus Ripple. Absolutely love this paddle, but I can't award it yet because it is not available for public sale, but the Rhombus Ripple definitely has to make a mention here. And also the Pickleball Apes Pulse V. The V has amazing spin. I love the spin on this paddle, but again, it just doesn't compare to the top two paddles in this category. So without further ado, the runner-up for our spin paddle of the year is the Neonic Flow Prime X. Now the Neonic Flow shape, again, even their non-X version has exceptional spin. Personally, I love the X that they've come out with. Now this paddle is not the spinniest paddle on the market. That's not what this category is. Again, it's how well you can control the spin of the ball while also maintaining a pretty high RPM. With the Neonic Flow Prime X, it is very easy to control the spin and you get a very high RPM of this paddle. For me, easily the runner-up in the spin category. Now the winner of spin paddle of the year, the Volare Mach 2 Forza 14mm, for me still is that paddle that has exceptionally controllable spin while maintaining some of the highest RPM in the market today. It's just a paddle I keep going back to when it comes to spin. Has to be the winner here for that spin category. The Volare Mach 2 Forza 14mm wins it. Now, talking about value for money, there were a lot of paddles this year that came in under $150 and some even with that sub $100 price tag. In this category, I am going to pick two paddles that are under $100 to award, and an honorable mention goes to 60 for releasing their quartz, which also comes in at under $100, but I do think the runner-up and winner in this category are just fundamentally better paddles. So the 60 quartz gets an honorable mention here, but the runner-up for value for money is the Vatic Prism Flash. Now, I know this is a paddle from 2023, but there really haven't been that many paddles that can beat this paddle in terms of price and value for money. The Vatic Prism Flash is still that paddle, so have to give it the runner-up here. It is a fantastic paddle. Definitely go pick one up if you are looking for a sub $100 paddle. It doesn't get much better than this unless you're gonna pick up the winner for our value for money for 2024, the 11624 Monarch Jelly Bean. Now the Jelly Bean again made a lot of waves when it came out. This is basically Gen 2 technology in a sub $100 packaging. It is absolutely amazing. 11624 has some of the best value for money paddles on the market. If you are looking for a budget friendly paddle, just go pick any paddle from 11624's website. All these paddles are priced very low for how well they perform. I don't think any other company can beat it, so it had to be a 11624 paddle that won this category, and the Jelly Bean is that paddle for me, coming in at under $100. This paddle plays exceptionally well. Can't complain about it at all. Fantastic paddle. Now for the time that we've all been waiting for. This is our Paddle of the Year category. So our overall Paddle of the Year for 2024. Some honorable mentions here. Gotta give a shout out again to the Rhombus Ripple. It would have been my Paddle of the Year if it was available for public sale and there wasn't all that beta testing going on, but have to mention it here regardless. It is a fantastic paddle. If you can get your hands on one, make sure to go pick one up. Also gotta mention the Standout CF3. For me, this could have easily become the runner-up, but there is a paddle that kind of took over that spot for me towards the end of the year. But the Standout CF3, again, one of my all-time favorite paddles. Still absolutely love it. Very, very good paddle. Also got to throw in the Spartus Olympus here as an honorable mention. The technology on that paddle is fantastic, and I absolutely love playing with that paddle. So just honorable mention to the Rhombus Ripple, Standout CF3, and Spartus Olympus. But our runner-up for Paddle of the Year 2024 is the Pickleball Apes Pulse. The Pickleball Apes Pulse is just such a fantastic paddle. I only got a chance to try it out towards the end of the year, but oh my goodness, the minute I picked that paddle up, you can already tell it makes such a huge difference to your game. Very consistent, very powerful, very spin friendly, does anything and everything well. There are really no weak points to this paddle. So easily the runner-up for Paddle of the Year 2024 is the Pickleball Apes Pulse. This could have easily been my Paddle of the Year if it hadn't been for this next paddle. The winner of Paddle of the Year for 2024 for me is the Yola 3S. Now, I know a lot of you are going to hate it, but as much as I hate it with all the drama with the UPA and the USAPA, the mod, the Gen 3s, and everything else that Yola did, the 3S is just the best paddle on the market right now, hands down. This paddle is exceptional. It does everything well, some of the most powerful paddles on the market, but with that Gen 3 foam injected technology, it also does an amazing job of controlling the ball, very easy on resets, very easy on drops, especially the Scorpius shape. For anybody that's not come from a racket sport background coming into pickleball, the Scorpius is the absolute best paddle that you can buy. The 3S Scorpius should be the paddle that you're trying to get your hands on. It will immediately help elevate your game. Max spin, max sweet spot, huge control, a lot of power, everything that you want in a pickleball paddle, the Yola 3S has. Now, based on your game style, there are 4 different shapes with this paddle. So I have made another video on Instagram kind of breaking down which shape would suit your game the best. So if you're looking to get a 3S and don't know which shape to get, go to my Instagram channel, BK_pickleball, and make sure you check out that video before you buy it. But it is hands down the best paddle of 2024. And with the news that it might get USAPA approved early next year, a lot of people will be trying to get a head start on getting this paddle so that they can use it for tournaments once it is approved. Every pro I know, if they weren't sponsored by a pickleball company, would be playing with the 3S. It is just that good. So Paddle of the Year 2024, congratulations to the Yola 3S. Fantastic job. Can't wait to see where we go from here. If you are looking to get any of these paddles, make sure to visit bk-pickleball.com. I'll also leave a link in the description. All my discount codes are on my website and you can get your hands on any of the paddles mentioned in my video here today. Comment below if I missed any paddles or if there are any paddles that you'd like to see me review. Make sure to subscribe below to my channel, BK Pickleball, for more pickleball videos, and also follow me at BK_pickleball on Instagram. Until next time, I'll see you later.